My name is London Lamar. I'm state representative for District 91 here in Tennessee. So before I became a state representative, I worked in education where I was engaging community members to be more engaged in education policy, to children's education. And the people that I worked with the most were women. They were women and mothers who were involved in the schools, who cared about their children's education. Following that, I worked in reproductive justice, where I worked to give women reproductive autonomy over their lives, to allow them to choose how, when, and where they wanted to start their families, if they wanted to start their families, and ensuring that the community provides resources so they can have true family and reproductive access. House Bill 17 was the Centoya Brown bill. When I first heard about Centoya's story, I was greatly touched about a 16-year-old who was a victim of sex trafficking and was put into a bad situation. I think her story touched the whole nation. And so what I did was I looked more into sex trafficking work and why some of the women fall into sex trafficking work. And what I learned is a lot of them are forced against their will in order to do the work. And so I created HB17, which would say a presumption that a minor who is involved in a violent act as part of sex trafficking was presumed to do the violence based on the fact it was self-defense. And so what this would prevent would be more women like Centoya Brown going to jail for egregious violent crimes when they were simply defending themselves because they were involved in sex trafficking work. So a part of getting HB 17 passed was ensuring that the people who it most affect had the ability to voice their opinion on this bill. So what we did was create Sex Trafficking Day on the Hill. I partnered with Safehaven, and we went and talked to the legislators on the state capitol about why this bill is so important and why it was designed to protect women. And we were very successful at that. And next week, because of our Day on the Hill, we'll be having a summer study on the Centoya Brown bill at the state capitol on September 11th. So what this started was the ability for us to further the work around sex trafficking. With this bill and other bills, we are ensuring that the governor and all our legislators understand that sex trafficking is the second fastest growing crime in Tennessee, and that they have to pay more attention to this bill, which is why we're doing the summer study, which is why we're going to be speaking with our elected officials about budgetary options for sex trafficking organizations that do preventative work. This is the start of a conversation about what we can do in order to protect girls and families against these egregious crimes and ensure that no other woman, no other young lady has to be involved in sex trafficking work here in Tennessee. So I want to say thank you to Story Safehaven for partnering with me to further the advancement of education around sex trafficking work here in Tennessee. And I want to thank you to the Just Conference for doing this work and making sure that sex trafficking is a topic around this country and we can put an end to human sex trafficking.